Assalamualaikum. My name is Junaid. I am a student of IQRA University. Basically, we are here to discuss about advantages and disadvantages of online education. Before we start to discuss about online education, let me introduce my group members. My group members are Ashmal Minhas, Manasir, Hassan Ali, Tamar Qureshi, Ram Mustafa Khan, Muhammad Hadiul Islam, and Zaid Habib. So what is online education? Online learning is education that takes place over the internet. So basically we are not taking classes in the campus. Basically we are doing this by using our internet connection and taking lectures through Blackboard from our site or LMS from any university sites. For further, Zaid Habib will going to discuss it with you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zaid Habib, ID 32690. Now I will tell you more about the benefit of online education. The concept of traditional education has changed radically within the last couple of years. Being physically present in a classroom isn't the only learning option anymore. Not with the rise of the internet and new technologies, at least. Nowadays you have access to a quality education whenever and where you want. As long as you have access to a computer, we are now entering a new era, the revolution of online education. Why you should get involved in online education? Point number 1. Improve virtual communication and collaboration. Learning to work with others in a virtual environment can make you a more effective leader. You will develop critical leadership skills by utilizing specialized knowledge, creating efficient processes, and making decisions about best communication practice, such as what should be discussed in person or electronically. In an online program, you will also participate in discussion board with your classmates, communicate with professor via email, or collaborate through various software programs. As a program progresses, you will get better at pitching your ideas and making strong, succinct, professional argument through text. Participating in discussion board is a lot like participating in a virtual team. Communicating your ideas clearly, getting responses, and projecting a professional image and necessary skills in a virtual workplace. Point number 2. Refine critical thinking skills. Online learning facilitates the ability to think critically about what you do every day. The goals in the classroom is to challenge you to think differently, and employees want you to do that, to think critically in your role at work. Mastering these skills is what will set you apart as a student and as an employee. Critical thinking plays a role in any type of education. However, online learning forces you to develop your critical thinking skills in ways that you might not have practiced in an in-person classroom setting. This sort of self-paced and self-motivated learning demonstrates to future employees that you have the ability to think critically and overcome any obstacles that might stand in your way. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hadi and my ID is 31113, and today I am gonna talk against online education. Number 1 point is require self-discipline and time management skills. We can all agree that self-discipline and time management are always at play when it comes to learning. Online learning involves less guidance from an instructor than traditional learning. Typically, online learning also removes scheduled meeting times and deadlines. So the point is that the interaction between the students and teachers is very important, as it makes the lecture less boring and keeps the students more active. So the face-to-face interactions are a must to bring the material to life. Number 2 point is diminish social interaction. When you imagine a traditional classroom, lively group discussion and students raising their hands to ask the instructor questions likely comes to mind. Admittedly, these moments do not arise as naturally in online learning. For some individuals, these face-to-face interactions are a must to bring the material to life. Nevertheless, it is possible to bring more social interaction to online learning through competition, schedule Q&A sessions with an instructor, and discussion channels. So it lacks confidence in students and for the students who are more interactive and are used to ask questions more frequently have to face quite serious problems during the system. Number 3 point is not suitable for every topic. In this point, complex topics, operative techniques, and practices that require a physical environment are best conducted in person. Yet more repetitive topics in a higher turnover environment lend themselves naturally to online learning. I would like to address this major problem that for subjects like finance and maths or any technical subjects, we need to have a live class interaction with teacher to understand the details more easily, as it is difficult to understand such subjects online.
Assalamu alaikum sir, my name is Farhan Mustafa Khan and my ID is 31434, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the advantages of online education. So first of all, online education allows students to fit education into their lives instead of reorganizing their lives around education. And online training makes education more convenient for students living in rural areas, those with health concerns or disabilities, and those who frequently travel or move. One of the biggest advantages of online education is the convenience it has. This convenience is in relation to study location, time, course duration, and etc. No commuting or traveling time to a campus. No geographic location constraint in selecting the learning options. No learning pace constraint. You can learn at your own pace and study at your own convenience. No verbally expressing constraint. You can express yourself in writing rather than verbally. You can have virtual discussion rather than instructor-led lecture. Coursework and instructions can highly be customized to your field and subject area. Learner is able to carefully reflect his or her qualities, thinking on each comment from others before responding or moving on to the next topic. It is student-centered, which means students are expected to read all of their classmates' contributions, but they may actively engage only in those parts of the contribution most relevant to their needs. It is access to resources, which means it is easy to include guest experts or students from other institutions, as well as access to resources and information around the world. Thank you so much, sir. That's all from my side.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Omanasi, ID 31094. Today I am going to represent disadvantages of online education. Focus on idea. Online education damaged the actual focusing temper of student. Internet connection, microphone issues, reconnecting noise are factors affecting student to focus on their studies. In Pakistan, internet is not much efficient and many areas are even suffering from worst signal strength. Students from rural areas are unable to attend any regular classes, hence distracting of focus is taking place. Instructor availability. Presence of teacher is one of the main element of educational institutes. Teacher is not the one who only delivers the lecture, but his presence makes sure that his audience is understanding him. In online classes, students are not able to understand teacher, and even teachers are not able to deliver much well. Without being intellectual with instructor, learning is so difficult. Lack of practice-based learning reliance on technology. As far as Pakistan is concerned, Pakistan is an underdeveloping country. We are not so efficient in IT fields. Many of the areas still don't have internet connections. Many schools were not teaching IT studies. Students are not efficient on different online learning platforms.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Fazan Ali and today I am going to talk about in the favor of online education. A flexible learning schedule on campus, students may need to tolerate the personal conversation that takes place in the lost hours. While not all online programs are built in the same way, many use PowerPoint presentations and other media that students can grind to pieces. In other words, the students may receive the first half of the lesson on a particular day and the second half the next day. This can be very useful to those who do not enjoy staying in one place for a long period of time. Group communication. Many graduate programs today involve some forms of team projects or collaboration. Working with others on the campus or in the area means linking days and times so that everyone can be present. Graduation programs, however, encourage visual communication and allow students to work with group members via email, chat rooms, and other easy-to-use methods. Work from anywhere at any time. This is very attractive online educational benefit for students with the multiple measurement tasks. Since everything is available online, accessing classroom materials and posting work is very easy. When and where this happens to the student as long as appropriate dates are shared.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ashwin Minhas and my ID is 31013. I'm gonna talk about some disadvantages of online classes. Online learning is limited to certain disciplines. A learning limitation is defined as a difficulty learning because of a condition such as attention problem and hyperactivities. Another disadvantage refers to the fact that online courses cannot cope with thousands of students that try to join the discussion. All education disciplines are not created equal and not all study fields can be effectively used in online learning, which tends to be more suitable for social science and humanities rather than scientific field such as medical science and engineering, which requires a certain degree of hands-on practical experience. No amount of online lectures can substitute an autopsy for medical students or real-life industrial training for a budding engineer. While this could change in the future, we currently not yet a point where we can fully teach all professions solely through online learning. The other major problem that usually occurs with online learning is that the students try to cheat while writing their exams using digital tools. Cheating is one of the primary puzzles faced by the teachers in the school, colleges, and universities across the countries, and students often try using technology to form cheating easier. By cheating, the students put some of their worries aside regarding their marks and their grades. As compared to on-campus students, the students who take classes online can cheat on assessment more easily as they take assessments in their own way, in their own environment, and while using their own personal computers. The students cannot be directly observed during assessment without a video feed making cheat detection. During online assessment, more complicated than for traditional testing procedures. Additionally, without a proper identity verification system in place, the students taking online assessment might be able to let a third party take the assessment instead of themselves, resulting in a wholly fraudulent test result. The other problem that occurs is face-to-face communication. The lack of face-to-face communication ties together with many of the previously mentioned disadvantages of online learning. A lack of any kind of face-to-face communication with the instructor inhibits students' feedback, causes social isolation, and could cause students to feel a lack of pressure. A lack of pressure is a disadvantage in the sense that it causes students to abandon their studies more easily. Constant nudging by professors may be undesirable for many, but it is an effective method for improving students' retention. and online learning is a one-way interaction. Disadvantages of online classes also include that online instructors tend to focus more on theory rather than practice. Although this drawback of online learning is to be addressed and fixed by some of the more innovative online learning platforms, the problem has yet to be disappear completely. The problem is that a large portion of online learning training providers choose to focus largely on developing theoretical knowledge rather than practical skills. The reason for this is evident. Theoretical lectures are considerably easier to implement in an online learning environment than practical lectures. After all, without face-to-face communication and practical classroom to use as a workshop, implementing practical projects in an online courses requires significantly more prior plannings than theoretical training.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah Qureshi and I am given an opportunity to speak on the favor of online delivery of lectures. And I would start off by saying that COVID-19 has devastated the world in an unprecedented way, and it is a catastrophe that this world has never seen before, and everyone globally was stuck in their vicinities. And office workers opted for home-based work, and universities globally have chosen the same mechanism for the delivery of lectures, quizzes, assignments, and other university activities have become virtual. Moreover, there are multiple advantages of online classes, and I will mention a few of those. As far as my own opinion is concerned, I would say that first and foremost benefit of online classes is that point number one, flexible environment for teacher and students. By studying online, you choose your own learning environment that works best for your needs, be it your bedroom, your study, the cafe across the street, or your local gym, listening to your instructor's lecture as you run on the treadmill. Point number two, more opportunities for teacher-student interaction. Students in traditional classrooms may not get the personalized attention they need to have concepts clarified. Although class sizes are small and most colleges and universities have classes of students that number in the hundreds. This is not a problem for this type of education because online guided discussions and personal talk time with their professors and lecturer is a half mark of online classes. Point number 3. Review lectures instantly. Another great benefit of the online classes is that if the class has finished and some concepts or any of the concept is not clear, then there is a great opportunity for the students to re-listen the lecture instantly, and this privilege is not available in the face-to-face classes. It's easy for minds to wander during a lecture. Universities of California psychologist Jonathan Schooler found that students lose focus about 5 minutes in a 45 minutes class session. In many online programs, however, students can review words from professor instantly, either by rewinding the audio or video or by reading the transcript that accompanies the lecture.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Arkam Junaid. Now I am here to discuss about some disadvantages of online education. So point number 1 is there is no internet connection in the rural areas. So rural students face internet availability issues for online classes. Ever since the COVID-19 spread, the global education system has approached a halt. As of now, most of the higher education institutes are conducting their classes on and off through online platform. Speaking of Pakistan, the local universities are trying their best to prevent any fourth feature of studies whilst completing the semester within time. Meanwhile, students of district rural areas seems to face issues in coping up with these online classes. Precisely, most of them do not have access to internet, while others have a problem with having fluent online connectivity. This nevertheless has been resulting in an abundant loss of studies as their universities are progressing with a steadfast pace in completing the semester. Moreover, the student predicates a request to the Higher Education Commission to take notice of this dilemma. Either the government must observe the decision of annulling the online classes, which would ultimately rule into the semester break, or they must facilitate the student with fluent access to 3G 4G services so that they can conduct their classes without any hesitate. So the other point is manage screen time. Many parents are concerned about the health hazard of having their children spend so many hours staring at a screen. This increase in screen time is one of the biggest concerns and disadvantages of online learning. Sometimes students also develop bad posture and other physical problems due to staying hunched in the front of the screen. A good solution to this would be to give students plenty of breaks from the screen to refresh their mind and their body. So the third point is for the disabled students. Classes on Zoom or other video conferencing platform may be the current trend during the COVID-19 lockdown. But thousands of disabled college students are finding it hard to access classes with no laptop and internet, lack of study material and format suitable for them, and absence of sign language interprets and transcript. The disabled students fear that they would be in further disadvantages if the universities go ahead with the examination soon after the national lockdown is lifted, as they could not even access organizations that could help them with extra existence in their academics. At least 75,000 students with disability are estimated to be attending college in the country, but disabilities activities are complaining that the governments have not yet formulated a guideline for online classes and finalizing examination schedule. So the big and common problem we are facing in the online education is the internet connection or technological issues. While internet penetration has grown in leap and bounds over the past few years, in smaller cities and towns, a consistent connection with decent speed is a problem. Without a consistent internet connection for the student or a teacher, there can be a lack of continuity in learning for the child. This is detrimental to the educational process. Even many students are suiciding just because they don't able to submit their assignments, their quizzes, their exams. So the big and common problem is that lack of internet connection. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much for me and for my group members for watching the video and understanding the advantages and disadvantages of the online learning. Thank you so much.